Welcome back to the Roy Works channel. In today's video, we're going to work on replacing the heat rise valve in the exhaust manifold. And also, we're going to try to remove the broken bolts that are on the intake manifold. So let's get to it. So the first thing I want to do is try to remove the old broken bolts out of this intake manifold. So what I've been doing periodically is using PB Blaster, spraying it around each of the bolts. These three here, I think I can get on them with a vice grip or a little pipe wrench. This little pipe wrench comes in handy. It's brand new, so the jaws are really sharp and really bite into what they're latching onto. And I'm also going to use a little bit of heat. I know every video that I've seen on working on any of the intake or the exhaust manifold, they say don't use heat. But I believe the reason you don't use heat is because a lot of times when you try to remove a bolt like this, you really heat it up. You heat it up bright red. But what I'm going to do is just bring it up to be, let's say, around 300 to 500 degrees, close to what the exhaust temperature would be. And I want to just expand. I'm just going to heat this outer edge here, maybe a little bit on the inside. And I just want this metal to expand just a little bit around this bolt. I'm not going to heat the bolt at all because I feel like if you heat the bolt up too much, it's going to expand the bolt. And that's when you're going to get a crack in the manifold because that bolt is going to heat up way faster than this surrounding area here, which I could definitely see that causing a crack. So that's what I'm going to do. One down, 3 more to go. So I was only able to spin out 2 of these. So these 2 I'm going to drill out. I'm debating whether to use easy outs or just drill and tap them out. I'm gonna just chase out the other threads just to clean them out. Okay, we got that cleaned up and all retapped and ready to go. So let's move on to the exhaust manifold. So full disclosure, I actually loosened these bolts up before because no one wanted to see me struggling trying to get these things off. These were pretty tight, but I'm really happy that they didn't snap. That I thought for sure they were going to, but they didn't. All right, so first thing, we got to remove the old damper. You can see this is locked right up. So I'm thinking of cutting this out, probably cutting this first, see if we can get this away from the shaft, and then cut the shaft out, and then knock out the bushings. I'm going to use this 9/32 socket. Not 100% sure if it's supposed to go through that way. It looks like it'll go through. So I used a 7mm socket. These are kind of like my crappy sockets, so they work good for this stuff. So that knocked out that bushing right out of there. Now I'm just going to do the other side. All right, now we'll press this bushing in. I think I'm going to use this C-clamp to help press it in. I was going to bang it in, but I don't want to take a risk of painting over this end here and getting it so it don't the shaft don't move freely in there. So I'm going to give this a shot, see if this will press it in. Seems to be working. I'm going to just move you back a little bit. It's kind of tough. It's brass, so it's going to give away before I think the housing will. Right, so I got the pots all set, ready to go here. I have the old spring that I took off, the original spring that was on there. And I've been actually told, or I've seen on videos, that it's actually better to use these old springs, that they work really good. But I'm gonna use the new counterweight and everything else new. So I'm gonna mount this now and get this ready to receive the shaft and the spring. So I put a little piece of metal in this little slot right here. I feel like it's supposed to have one. I haven't seen that in a video, but this, I don't know if it's just because this is a aftermarket one of these, but it don't tighten onto here. I tried to actually grind this space out so it would tighten even tighter, but it really didn't tighten enough at all. So I put this little piece of metal in here, which I'll grind off after, and that will keep it in place once we tighten that up. All right, guys, well, that worked out pretty well. I'm glad to get this done, but it's getting pretty late, so I think I'm gonna call it a night. And this weekend I'll install these, get these back on the Jeep, and we will get prepped to, start installing the exhaust. I think I'm gonna customize my own exhaust for this. So that should be interesting to see what I come up with with that. I don't know if it'll be good or not, but I will see you on the next video, and have a great week.